do want to go back to that line of law enforcement that we saw put their batons back on their hip because it didn't start out that way.
Yeah, we were watching that scene before 4 tonight. We were on earlier, and that scene, it evolved. It was a young woman who was on her phone reading out names of people who have died at the hands of law enforcement, of Black Americans who have died at the hands of police officers. She was saying the names out loud during this, right here, you'll see the video, and other people were chanting them back to her. And they pleaded with the officers who were in a line who had been holding their batons. You don't see them, there you see them holding there now. They pleaded them to put down their batons, and we didn't see it at that time earlier, Alicia, but we got to see that video just moments ago.
It was an evolution of emotions. So we did see a little bit of an argument between the woman in the pink bandana and that man who's putting his arm around her right now. They were arguing, and she was hurting. She was angry. She says, I cannot love these people because she's scared for her husband and his safety, and she just doesn't have trust. And then at the end, it evolved to him putting his arm around her and everybody holding hands, and they asked the police officers to put their batons down. And then the camera cut out. So now this video, we see that they actually did put their batons away. So it was a very peaceful moment in the middle of this chaos.
Yeah, there's flashbangs now. We've heard at least 5 or 6 of them at least. So a lot of this changing here in the last 2 minutes. Since Brandon's report, he was talking about that shift in, what was happening here with the police stepping back a little bit. And then moments after that, look what's happening. There's a basketball being thrown towards the officers. We saw a couple of water bottles also being thrown towards the officers. And
law enforcement is there to keep everyone safe. So if somebody does throw an object at police, even if it's a basketball or a plastic water bottle, that's seen as a threat, right? Protesters significantly outnumber law enforcement out there. Yeah. So that's when they're going to have to deploy tear gas and pepper balls. Right, Mayor?
Yeah, and that's why I said, that's why it's important to, our officers have been doing a really great job at restraint. Because they're there to protect the protesters.
So the big question is, were the nighttime looters part of the peaceful protesters that started during the day, or were they part of another group inciting violence? We don't know exactly right now, but, protesters have told us that their messages are being overshadowed by these violent acts of rioting. Last night, businesses being smashed up. We saw Play It Again Sports smashed up, Sally's Beauty Supply, the Walmart being ransacked. So we're just hoping that it doesn't get to this point today.